who are not right, but the people who are just like right there in the midst. And for me, I'm in that midst, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being different. I'm okay with knowing that I'm aggressive. I'm okay with knowing that I'm a woman. And the people who are around me are the people who actually know that they can deal with it and understand. And that's okay. And if there are people who are not out there who don't care to understand that, then I'm all right. I live to see another day. And that's how I balance it out. I love me. You have to love yourself before you can be like, okay, you know, you have to love yourself, because then all that negativity and all that you're supposed to be this and that will conflict that. And if you don't have that shield of God has me and I have myself and therefore I am who I am, I'm going to be that great person, then none of that matters. You're not in that chain of, oh, because you are this, you have to do this.
Right.
You know.
I definitely can relate with that. I work in the automotive industry. I have for 15 years. I'm around men all the time. And I find that being kind of an A-type aggressive woman who's not afraid to get my hands dirty, work in the car business, I battle with situations where I'm emotional and I want to cry, but yet I'm not supposed to be, because I'm supposed to be tough, right? So then they look at you, oh, so the big badass lady want to have a tear in your eyes? And, oh, that little video on YouTube made you tear up? You know, like, so then you're kind of always in this space of, like you said, of gray. Where I'm not girly enough to be considered, like I could care less about red bottoms and purses. But at the same time, I'm not out playing football either. So like, where do you really fit in when there's this different space?
I mean, I don't.
You just create your own league.
I create whatever I can, and the fact that there are other girls in the league who feel the exact same way. That's why we're all so
fellowship.
Close. You know, as a league, we're all close. Like, some of us, you know, we have our moments, but we all share that one thing, that we are a different standard of women, and we value that because we work hard. We're mothers, we're firemen, we're policemen, we're veterans, we're soldiers, we're doctors, we're dentists, we're school teachers, we're everything. But at the same time, this is something that we all came together to sacrifice time and days with our family to do something that we love doing, because we are different. And we're okay with that. And this is something that people don't understand. Like, if you actually read some of the comments under some of our videos, people have their opinions. People who have never played football in their life, who have never been in front of a camera, people who sit at home just to talk about people. And I be wanting to say stuff all the time, but now I know how it feels to be a celebrity on that level. You can't put your opinions on there, because people then attack your opinions. And for me, it's like, I have to know in my mind, like, you never ever would be in my shoes. You could never do what I do.
Right.
You could never run millions of gassers after you done had a football game the next day, knowing that you messed up and you got to do it again. You can never get up and you feel tired, but you know you got to keep going and go to practice and get up and go to work and then go to practice and then go do your game. But for me, that's you know, that's me.
Right.
So true.
So I have to, you know, I have to, like I said, love who I am in order for all that to not matter.
Right.
I'm okay with being in the gray, because then I can create my own light, because I am my own light.
And for others to follow.
Yeah, pretty
Sure.
much.
You know, that's usually how judgmental people work. They can never do what you do. They can never walk in your shoes, but yet they will judge you.
Yeah.
Never had a conversation with you a day in their life, never been to a game, don't know you, but yet they'll sit at home and judge you.
True.
That's typically how judgmental people work.
Yeah.
It definitely takes a tremendous amount of courage, so I commend you for having that courage to walk outside of the lines and to make a path, because there's other young women and little girls who will see that and say, that's the space that wasn't for me. You know, that's where I couldn't fit in. I knew there was something else out there, but it just wasn't made yet.
Yep.
And so it took someone 7 years ago to make that decision and try out in front of 400 people and not be at the modeling audition, right? Because that's where typically with the standards, when you talk about boys and girls and gender and identity, that little girls should be playing with dolls and have pink on, and that you should be at a model call, because you definitely could do that.
Yeah, you could.
So when they see you in another zone, then that's where the judgment comes from. And I'm sure from both men and women that, what are you doing? That's you're too cute for that.
Right, get that too. But then you get those people that support it, and I'm like, man, Alfie, like, why do you do what you do? And I'm just like, it makes me feel good.
It makes me feel good.
That's why I do it.
That's
and,
what it is. Yeah.
Double standard just doesn't come there. It comes even when I'm asleep. Like, I'm waking up and I'm like, man, okay, I have to be better than what everybody else think I am. And not because I have to please them, but only on a level of understanding that I have a role that I have taken on, and I have to know what that comes with. I'm a role
the responsibility.
Model to,
right.
I'm a role model to kids. I'm a role model to other women who want to try this out, and knowing that just makes me want to be a better player, makes me want to be a better woman, and get more involved in what I'm doing, and get more involved in not just with football but with life, because honestly a lot of people don't realize football isn't just a sport, it is a lifestyle. People who play the sport knows that it's more than just that, because it brings a lot more of things that come with it. And I think the other day what made it really bad, like, to realize the double standard, I was at work and this guy was talking about football. We were talking about the Browns playing the Giants or something. It was somebody. Mm-hmm. And he was like, man, they both suck teams. Anyway, I was like, well, it's kind of crazy because the Browns been, they've been putting people who we think are supposedly the stronger NFL groups in their socks. Like, man, we're finna get beat by the Browns, because we all know the Browns' reputation right now is they suck. Yeah. But they almost beat the Saints. They almost wiped out Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, how you gonna, you can't just say, he's like, but also we giving credit to the loser. I said, no, I'm not giving credit to the loser. It's just that don't underestimate your opponent ever, no matter if they're male or female. And he was like, oh, how would you know? It's not like you play football. And I was like, but I do. And he was like, the thing that made me upset, and I couldn't let him get me out of character, he did, is because he was like, because I'm a woman, I would never play on the level of a man. Mm. And I was just like, oh, ouch. I was like, that's fine. I was like, but have you ever played football? He was like, yeah. I was like, but what are you doing now? Mm. Are you playing football, or are you my car tech that need to be washing my car? Oh. So, you know what I'm saying? So I can put, you know what I'm saying? For me, there's the double standard. You want to talk about me, but I want to just give credit to my black women. Black women in the United States are the #1 graduating students in the country. We are the #1 getting jobs in the country. We are the fastest growing group of young ladies getting jobs, becoming breadwinners. We're working hard. And all we ever want, not necessarily to be an equal, but to be respected and understand that we didn't do this to say we're better than black men. We didn't do this to say we're better than anyone. We did this because we wanted this from ourselves. Right. And all we ever wanted was that support. And that's what I try to tell people, like, I ain't trying to be better than you. I'm just trying to make my own path to be better than myself. And for you to support that. Right. And we all have to support each other. And the double standard, I feel like, definitely divide us, especially in our race community. So
women against other women.
Right.
Most of the time.
It's
so it's competitive.
It's so competitive, and we don't have to be. We can support each other. We can support each other's dreams and make things happen, because that's what we're doing now. So that's how I feel about it.
Chad in the chat room said that black girl magic is real. It's real. And so we talked about, guys, we talked about this last week as far as like, hey, why do women want to come hang out with guys when they're watching a football game, or why they want to be all up in our face? But, I mean, the game. I'm pretty sure, your knowledge of the game is probably going to surpass a whole lot of guys, regardless of how much Madden they play, the level that they played on, even if they played in high school. Like, it's just certain things that you're going to know because you've been out there on that level. I'm pretty sure it's hard, for you to watch the game and you're like, well, he just ran a out and up. He ran a 5 and up, or he ran a post corner or something like that. And the guy's like, I knew that. I didn't need you to tell me that. So, do you have that happen?
I mean, I've had those guys like, what? Especially those who've never known me to play, but just be like, you knew what that was? I was like, yeah. You know, see, for me, because, like, when I was growing up, before I started playing, I used to just watch football just to look because the guys had on the nice tights. And they were, you know, big. And then when they take the helmet off and get all aggressive, I'm like, yeah, I like this. I don't even know what's going on, but keep doing it. And then when you actually can break it down and see what you're supposed to see, even though 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 can be totally different at times, and I always have questions, I still can be like, okay, he should have never ran that route, or he should have never missed his assignment. You got to get through that gap. If you don't get through your gap, then you can't stop the run. Like, I know those type of things, and now that I can see it, I'm like, okay, it makes football even more interesting to watch.
Right.
So most of the people that I watch with are people that know what I do. So I don't have to have that, you know.
Like, dang, you don't have to show that you know everything. Why don't you be like Erica and just know what a touchdown is?
No. But no, I mean, I've gotten to a point where you start surrounding yourself around people that support what you do. So if I'm over here at home playing video games, playing Call of Duty, which I do play at Feed the Dun on PS4 Network.
She had that on yesterday. Like, this is what I do when I get off work.
I do sometimes.
I'll be bucking there, folks.
You know, I be playing. I you know. I blame my cousins. I blame Dejan. I blame Derek. I blame Dexter. I blame all of them because it's their fault that I like to do all these things.
That's a good thing, though. I think it's unfortunate that a lot of women and young girls don't get a chance to play sports and play video games because it teaches us that we're supposed to sit back, that we're not supposed to be competitive, that we're not supposed to play hard, that we're not supposed to give it all and cuss and yell and throw stuff, you know, when you get mad, you know what I mean? And so it's a part of your life that if you don't learn it, then when you get into corporate America, you get into situations where you're supposed to be competitive, you think, oh, let's be nice, let's kumbaya and shake and hold hands. Like, no, especially in sales, it's a Shark Tank out here. Like, we're going in. I'm ready to tackle you one way or the other. It might be mentally, but it's strategy.
Yeah, that's true. That's how I got my job.
You know, those people taught you everything.
And I've worked at Enterprise car rental before, back in the day. It is a all-boys club.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You can't show any type of weakness, tears. It's an all-boys club, and I'm sure it has not changed over the years. Enterprise Enterprise is an all-boys club. Yep. Hate to let a female
My sister works there. I get it.
Yeah,
it's become a lot more open to us. A lot more.
I still roll my eyes. I used to play football growing up, and I was the only girl that would play with them, my older male cousins. And I used to play every weekend when they had to go over their house. And one weekend, playing touch football, they picked me up and knocked my shoulder out of socket.
Oh.
I would never. This shoulder still trembles when it gets cold.
Y'all was doing. They was doing.
It was beyond touch.
Extra touching.
It was beyond touch.
My best friend over here talking about I cheat in Mortal Kombat. That's not true. You just
tell on the best friend.
Babality.
Hey, tell on her.
Don't even be like that.
Tell on her.
Come on.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, so when you have just getting a little bit. We got 5 minutes. I'm trying to do. Y'all want to talk about the dating, or y'all want to talk about the Kanye's side of it?
With dating?
Yeah.
Dating double standards?
Yeah. Both of them are going. It's a lot, but it's a way to get to it.
When we dated, what's the question?
So she said what made us start getting on double standards from the beginning was she sent me this picture of
oh yes, indeed,
Stevie J and Faye. And the double standard of she asked why do men that dated around a whole lot still end up getting classy chicks, whereas a woman that do a whole lot of dating and getting smashed out, they usually gotta be like.
I didn't say smashed out.
Well, she didn't say smashed out.
I did not say smashed out. That was not my term.
But smashed out is usually what ends up happening. Like you know the girl that get passed around back in high school or whatever. You ended up with her.
Kind of like kind of like the same thing when guys can be hoes but girls can't be hoes.
That's it.
Yeah, no, that's
why.
You just can't do that.
How can a man like Stevie J get a classy woman like Faye? Every time I see it, I'm just like, what?
Can I ask y'all a question?
You really think
on the girl code side of the game? Just real quick on the girl code side of the game. Him and Biggie worked together back in the day. So, what's the statute of limitations on?
Stay off. You're wrong.
For her. I mean, she doesn't.
I just know that Faith ain't as all, Faith, as we all think she is. Just like,
do tell.
I mean, come on. She slept with Tupac. And then you sleep with Stevie J, somebody that actually worked with.
Work with them.
Wait a minute.
Come on now.
I'm just saying that
She slept with Stevie J in the past, or you're talking about current?
Well,
I
they
mean,
said
even-
they
You
were
saying he
friends.
smashed-
Even
They said
current.
they were friends before. They would say they were friends before they started talking.
She officially
And you
smashed the
think
homie.
about Stevie J.
So you're saying Faith smashed the homie?
twice.
Officially.
I
Officially.
can't right now. Twice.
I mean, is there a statute of limitations? Like after your husband died, like 20
You
years
talking
later?
about
Oh yeah,
You
I mean,
go
no,
ahead.
no. See, after he dies, there's nothing.
There's
I
nothing
mean,
she can do whatever
he
she wanna
dead.
do when he dead.
Like what he gonna do?
So you
Come
can
on,
still,
her,
you can
sweet.
still hit. Oh, yeah, I will hunt.
Oh,
Let my wife smash one of my friends after I pass.
But you're dead.
Oh, they will be haunted
Let your wife smash one of your homies after.
after I die. I don't care how long it is.
You're gone. You're
I don't
deceased.
understand.
They will be haunted.
Come on, that's you being.
So,
They-
That means they've been looking
can
at her.
I-
They were
though.
plotting
They've been
all the whole
dead.
time?
so can I
They
ask
should be
a
trying to take
question?
care of her. They shouldn't
Why
be trying to.
why do you feel that
take
there
care
is
of
that
her?
double standard where men can be hoes and women can't be hoes?
Hey,
And,
you know what?
And like, cause
Right.
I just
Why
wanna know,
women get
why
trash?
can't women have numbers and guys can have numbers? Y'all be like, ooh man, what's up? Did you hear what's her name last night? How was it? Yeah, give a dap and everything. But then you hear about the same chick that you slept with, don't slept with all your boys or slept with however many men. She can't be anything else but what she is, right?
Shout out to that selfie right there.
Well.
All right, so the only because it's a level of knowledge that can be put on the wolf that just don't exist on the dude.
The wolf just
And so-
got me nuts.
Mileage. That's definitely a double standard. So the,
Yeah,
so
right.
it
It
can
can
be
be
mild up, but the eggplant,
The
they don't
eggplant
get
can't
mild. They
have
reset the
nothing.
odometer.
It does.
Listen, men have Carfax just like women have Carfax.
Come
If you
on
check
with the
that
Carfax,
history.
Erica,
I want to
come
know
on.
how many people done rode that train.
Come on.
Hey, but the train still work.
I mean, I just find that just like
Is
the
it-
way
is
y'all
it
talk
getting
about
hot in the
us, we
middle?
talk about y'all the exact same way.
All wolves
Slut
don't
buckets.
go back.
That's what we call
What?
men like
What do you
that.
mean?
Oh,
Baby comes out of that thing.
All wolves don't
Exactly.
snap
Yes,
all the
we
way
have
back.
children. We have babies. So it does. What do you mean?
Let's be honest.
Now you really being a pig.
You really are.
Are you
just
serious?
gonna
I'm
say,
just not gonna. I just can't agree with y'all.
You really
You
are.
got 3 women on this panel. You about to be dead.
Am
You
I
better,
supposed to
you
be
better,
dead?
you better say some right stuff. You better come out because I'm not gonna be involved. I might come in last so that we.
I-
Oh my goodness.
I gotta stand up. I gotta stand up for Felder Boy and the rest of
And all the men
rest of
on
the
here.
homies up
All
in here.
I'm
Like
saying, all I'm saying is,
y'all asked the question. I'm just speaking from the society
all I'm
side.
saying is, like I told y'all, the reason why I'm who I am, because I'm in the gray. I don't do the left or the right. I
Right.
don't care about all that. As long as you understand when it's about me and you, and this is what we're doing, then this is how it should be. I know in our world that we're supposed to technically be with one person and this, that, and the third. Great, I get it. Guys have this thing because there's a 1 to 15 ratio of women or 1 to 7 ratio in the whole country that y'all can do whatever
They
y'all
act like
want.
they can tap off 15.
Right. But at the same time,
That's crazy.
us women,
We know.
No, I mean, most dudes know that the chick they ain't the first. Y'all done been touched
We're
up.
not talking about the first.
we're not talking about the first.
We're just saying.
We're just saying that
if
we
we've
shouldn't
had
be,
multiple
we
guys,
shouldn't be
we-
faltered for
exactly.
being who we want to be and doing what we
That's
want to
such
do.
a
just
double
as much as you
standard.
wanna
Y'all
do.
talking about 8 or like 39?
Now we put numbers
Do you have
on it. Do you
39?
have 39 on your
Jesus
eggplant?
Christ. That's nasty.
Look how judgmental you are.
How we judging me?
He's trying to flip it, y'all. He's trying
Do
to
you not-
flip it.
do you not
Oh, my God.
We just said that.
You are the
We
one
don't-
being judgmental.
right.
You said that
You
there's a
just said
certain
that
amount of
we
mileage
can't
on the
do it.
wolf. That's what you said now.
Hey.
That's what you said.
I said that.
And I disagree. That eggplant can
Yeah.
be just as tainted and worn out.
Apparently, women aren't supposed to enjoy it as much as men because obviously, if we both there at the same time, if we getting off and you getting off, why does it matter how many times I got
Right.
off before you?
Come
Oh, that
on, Erica.
See?
Come on down there, Erica.
That matters.
Well, when they be doing that cheating game and they pull out and wait for a second. I'm like, bro.
Look, so let me say this. If it wasn't good, I don't count him on my count.
That's what y'all do all the time. We count everybody.
That was whack. Them 3 minutes do not go.
Hey,
3 minutes.
that idea.
Nobody counts.
That's why we know y'all odometers be ran back. Not y'all.
And y'all be ran forward.
Yeah.
They be lying. They be like, yeah,
y'all.
we done drove that one, this one, this one.
Now, you know what? Men do still lie on their eggplant.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah. How long they went? How many? 2 hours. I was sweating.
You lie.
I'm gonna tell you, it may not be directly, but you gonna know if I don't call you back.
Hello.
You about to get me locked up.
Yo,
And then you see him out somewhere, he go, I ain't heard from you. Be like, don't ask me why.
Because if you ask me, I'm about to hurt
I'ma
your
tell
ego.
you.
That's the problem. Men got egos. They got
y'all
strip
do.
those, man.
Yeah, y'all got horrible egos.
Real horrible.
Hey,
Just set fire to them.
it's y'all fault. Hey, man, this is our time, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to everybody in all the chat rooms. And shout out to everybody here. We will be back next Monday, October 29th, with another super entertaining episode of the 710 To Slickville Show. I want to thank Sway Kenyatta. I want to thank Erica Tiffany. And I definitely want to thank Alfie Gore for stopping through again. Tell everybody how they can follow you.
Please